You know, he got caught on tape, saying some downright ugly racist things. Did you feel like hugging him afterward? I didn't think so. Forget about. Not speaking ill of the dead. The Undertaker has finally dropped the curtain, revealing the darkest truths about Hulk Hogan, and some of them are worse than fans ever imagined. It all traces back to one moment, one fake injury, Survivor Series 1991. The infamous tombstone that supposedly left Hogan broken. November 27, 1991. Survivor Series. The night that permanently changed The Undertaker's relationship with Hogan. Imagine it, brothers, a 24-year-old Mark Calloway, barely a few years into his career, staring down the biggest star in wrestling history. That night, the dead man wasn't just fighting for a championship, he was fighting for credibility. The chance to prove he belonged in the main event spotlight. But Hogan, the prized cash cow of the WWF, had other ideas forming in that bald head of his. What unfolded that night wasn't just a wrestling match. It was a masterclass in manipulation, one that exposed the real Terry Bollea in a way The Undertaker would never forget. And the setup? It began long before the bell even rang. Back then, most wrestlers showed up to the arena around noon. Hogan? He usually strolled in around 4 or 5. But that day, he was already waiting when The Undertaker arrived. Red flag number 1. When Hogan breaks routine, brothers, you know something's brewing. "Hey kid, can I talk to you?" Hogan asked, pulling Taker aside into the locker room shower area. For those who don't know, that was where the real business went down. No cameras, no outsiders, just raw deals and confessions. And Hogan was about to weave one of his most infamous tales. He told The Undertaker, "Brother, my neck's not right. I'm really worried about taking your finish." The seeds of doubt were planted. Hogan wasn't asking for protection, he was building an excuse. The young dead man, being the respectful professional he was, promised him absolute safety. "Hulk, you're in good hands. I'll protect you. I've never hurt anyone, and I won't start with you." But Hogan kept at it all day. Every time Taker walked past him. "Remember my neck, brother." It was mental warfare at its finest, and The Undertaker had no idea he was being played like a fiddle. Finally, it was time for the finish. Ric Flair slid the steel chair into the ring. The Undertaker scooped Hogan up for the tombstone piledriver. And with precision, with care, he executed it flawlessly. Hogan's head never came close to touching the mat. Locked in tight, protected, safe. But the moment Taker's knees hit the canvas, Hogan launched into his Oscar-worthy performance. "Oh, brother, my neck, my back, you got me," he wailed. The Undertaker, just 24 years old, thought he had destroyed the biggest star in wrestling. Instead of celebrating his first WWF championship, he was drowning in guilt. Backstage. Overdrive. Hogan was stretched out in Vince McMahon's office, paramedics hovering, groaning like he'd been hit by a truck. Taker rushed over, panicked. But hiding nearby, Shane McMahon whispered the truth. "Mark, his head never touched. I had the perfect view. It wasn't even close." The guilt was too heavy. The Undertaker refused to believe it. Hogan's performance was that convincing. Only days later, watching the footage back, did the truth finally click. Hogan faked the whole thing. It was a complete fabrication. A calculated move to guilt-trip the rookie and protect his spot on top. When Taker finally confronted him about it, Hogan's excuse was laughable. "Brother, you had me so tight I couldn't move." Hogan had played the game, and the young phenom paid the price. But brothers, that was just the beginning. The years that followed painted an even uglier picture of Hogan. In the early 90s, the steroid scandal shook the WWF. Hogan, under oath, admitted to years of steroid use, destroying the clean, kid-friendly image he had built. From there, his reputation for lying grew legendary. Tales of fake stories, taking credit for other wrestlers' success, and exaggerating his role in the business spread like wildfire. Then came his bitter feud with Randy Savage. Savage went public, saying Hogan disrespected his family, and calling him a coward who only attacked through media, never face-to-face. Savage's words cut deep. He's a wuss. Nothing face to face, but none of those controversies compared to 2012, when Hogan was secretly recorded with his best friend's wife. The fallout was massive. WWE moved instantly. Hogan's contract was terminated, his Hall of Fame profile erased, his merchandise pulled. Overnight, he went from global icon to industry pariah. His apology? Weak at best. I'm not a racist, but, brothers, the damage was irreversible. And it didn't stop there. Hogan aligned himself publicly with Donald Trump, cutting promos at political rallies that embarrassed fans even further. By the time he appeared on WWE Raw's Netflix debut in January 2025, the crowd in Los Angeles booed him out of the building. Even then, Hogan no-sold it, shilling his real American beer. The Undertaker's reaction said it all. Did I feel like giving him a hug? No, brother. Sometimes life catches up to you. From the steroid trial to racist rants, backstage politics to personal betrayals, Hogan had become a walking cautionary tale. Even legends like Jesse Ventura never forgave him for allegedly reporting unionization efforts to Vince. The Hulkster's pattern was clear: protect himself at all costs, no matter who got hurt. And yet, despite everything, his impact on wrestling is undeniable. WrestleMania, mainstream attention, the boom of the 80s, the Monday Night Wars. Without Hogan, none of it happens the same way. Even The Undertaker, who knew the real Terry Bollea better than most, admitted it. He's a Mount Rushmore guy. For what he did for the business, you can't erase that. On July 25, 2025, when Hogan died of cardiac arrest in Clearwater, Florida, the wrestling world faced the complicated truth head-on. The Undertaker's tribute captured it best. The wrestling world has lost a legend. His contributions are immeasurable, and for that, I'm appreciative. Thank you, Hulk Hogan. That's the paradox of Hogan's legacy, brothers. A man who shaped the industry like few others, but who also burned bridges, manipulated peers, and tarnished his own name. The Undertaker's story teaches us that you can respect the performer while never forgetting the flaws of the man behind the mustache. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on one of the boxes on your screen to dive into more stories about wrestling's most shocking scandals and untold truths.